Yo, what up, all? It's Mick. So, we got 1.5 more weeks till Evo, and I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to get over there. Can't wait to see all my friends again, play some new people who I haven't ever met before, but I've maybe seen on streams and stuff. It's going to be like Disneyland, except with a lot more violence, and it's going to be epic. Um, if I hope that all you who are also going to Evo are training hard. I know, the group I play with, they're all hitting the sticks, no homo, trying to make it so that when they get there they can take some people out. Hopefully push to a good spot. I know we're all trying to make it out of pools, and I can't stress the amount of training that I'm doing myself to attempt to do that. But I know we're all trying really hard, and I can't wait to see what we all bring to the table once we get there. Uh, as I said, we got 1.5 more weeks till this thing goes down, and so I figured I'd come on and just once again lay down some, I guess, ideals, some theory, which I'm pretty sure is a lot less theory than it is actuality, but because nobody's ever said it before, I guess it's technically theory, or has ever done any research, so it's technically theory. And it's the concept of the what I like to call the equilibrium state in fighting games. And the equilibrium state is hopefully, not a term I'm using incorrectly, but it's the distance that two players will stand away from each other when, in a pro versus pro match, basically. The distance that they will stand and will continue to stay at until the case where one of them pushes to the corner, or something happens that disturbs this equilibrium state. So, what is the equilibrium state? Well, the equilibrium state, in my point of view, is the state in which both players have the best opportunities for offensive attempts with the least amount of opportunities for the opponent having offensive attempts on them. So, what a lot of people will do is they'll push to this point, and as you'll notice this yourselves as you play, you can go closer and closer to a guy, and then you almost hit this curve like on a graph where it just almost becomes vertical, where you don't want to go any closer because you realize that if you go any closer, your ability to actually fight safely becomes hindered. So you basically push up to this point, and then you kind of lock into this distance, the entire battle. So that is, in my point of view, the equilibrium point. Now, why does this equilibrium point matter? Well, the equilibrium point matters because when you're at that point, the battle shouldn't proceed too much further, or shouldn't change too much from that point, because people understand that it's a risk to leave that point. Why is it a risk? Well, because if you go closer, you run the risk of getting hit by randomness. If you go further away, the opponent has more ground to push forward on you to come back to this equilibrium point. So basically, you're forced to stay at this equilibrium point if you want to play a thought-based game. Now, that is important because at this point, the player who is the best at actually fighting from this situation is the player that stands the best chance of winning that specific match. Take, for instance, Daigo versus Mago, when Mago first became the king of Fei Long. And I think Daigo just gets schooled, right? If I'm not mistaken. Just utterly destroyed. And what was great about that was you could see just the kind of pressure Mago put Daigo on by kind of just staying the course and just not really pushing too close. Every once in a while he'd do like a chicken wing or something, or he'd push forward and use that, the down fierce, But for the most part, he kind of just kept Daigo from doing a whole lot because Fei Long's normals are just so good. And why didn't Daigo just jump in? Well, obviously the uppercuts are there. Fei Long has good anti-airs every now and then. You know, if he just backs up, now Mago has the opportunity to either dash forward and grab. He can do an overhead kick. He can do the move. You know what I don't know what the name of that one is right off the top of my head, but Daigo was fucked because he had no clue how to deal with this. He would basically attempt to push forward, get hit, move back. Maybe he'd jump in, flame kick, back, and that was it. That was the whole battle. And eventually, by like the 4th round, we were like, yeah, Mago wins this. Now, that is basically the idea of this strategy. Is if you can learn to fight from that position, your opponent is always going to bring it back to that position. The best person, the person who is more equipped to fight from that position, is the person who should, if you play correctly, win the match. I kind of feel this video has gone on a little more rambling than I wanted to, but take a little while to consider this concept. Really look to see if you can incorporate that into your game. It's a hard thing to train, and results don't happen instantly. You'll find that a lot of screw-ups happen because you don't feel like you're totally in control. But the more you do it, the more in control you actually begin to feel. And from there, you can continue to expand your game. So, as I said, we have 1.5 weeks left till EVO. I wish everybody the best. Can't wait to see everybody over there at the Rio. Wish you all the best of flights, and I will see you all after EVO. Peace.